You're watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Talladega Superspeedway here in the AOLL Sportsman Series. I'll be your host tonight, Larry Patrick, alongside the broadcaster of the month, Carl Henderson. Man, Carl, how you doing?
Man, I'm good. We were just talking before the broadcast. Before too. I was gonna say that I had a cup of coffee, but I think this race, Superspeedway racing, might energize me after it's said and done.
Yeah, Talladega Superspeedway, always an exciting race, especially in the trucks. I mean, we've seen these guys going 3 wide already, just here in practice, obviously. I don't know if we'll see it in the race, but they did it and they made it stick.
Yeah, I mean, the trucks, they run, they don't run the newer drafting package that the Cup cars do. It has a heavy emphasis on side drafting and the bubble around the car. So there's a lot more, ramming into the car and the truck in front of you and pushing them, and getting these huge runs and making passes. I know there's a lot of guys in the league that are really good with this package. So I think, and I saw Anthony Cirillo just connected. So we're gonna have Anthony here tonight. That'll be fun.
Oh, that'll be absolutely awesome. As I just kind of taking a look at some of the trucks, and then it hit me here. The 19 of John Gordon and Blake Gordon, the 48. Their truck looks almost exactly the same. If that was intended, I hate you guys. You made my job a lot harder having to look for a number.
Yeah, that's tricky. I'm trying to look at them right now. I'm like, what am I looking at? Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Let's see here. Hold on. Is that, the 70's got it too.
Well, at least his is gold. 50, I mean, I'm yeah.
50. Well, I'll say one thing. They're all chromed out. They look great. And I know there's differences. But I'm not going to lie. The gold, the chrome, the silver chrome, Blake looks like he's got a dark silver chrome there. See if we can see John since he's in the pit. He's got like a black chrome. I'm not going to lie, though. All the chrome, it's just going to blur with my eyes.
Yeah, but they look good. Really good-looking cars tonight.
They do look good.
Trucks, I should say. Actually, a lot of really good trucks in the field. Hopefully, we'll see them all in one piece by the end of this race.
And check that out. To your point there, the 529, Anthony Cirillo is on the track. It's going to be awesome to see him. We got some people here that we either haven't seen or are just joining the series. We haven't seen them in the trucks, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if Anthony's ever run in the trucks before. I'm going to pull up our stats here real quick and take a look.
As far as I am tracking, I've never seen him. I know Cody Mitchell's been around for a little bit, but I've not seen him race, so I'm excited about that.
And, yeah. This is Anthony's truck debut.
Yeah, and then we got Justin. I'm going to screw it up, man. Help me pronounce this. Rodden.
Let's say Rodden. Now that's what we're going to assume it is, and if we're wrong, I hope he'll get back with us afterwards and correct us.
Yeah, absolutely, because let's just face it, I'm not the smartest person out there.
Well, I wasn't going to say it.
I'll say it. Well, and time has expired here during practice, so we are about to go qualifying. Your fastest person in practice, though, is the 50 of Blake Z with John Gordon right behind him.
Yeah, it's looking like the Endeavor car is going to be really strong. But look, I mean, a guy I'm always looking at for this, style of racing on this package, Joe Dinsmore has to be a favorite tonight.
Yeah, Joe's normally pretty good with this package here, so he should have a good run. But this is one of the things. This is a super speedway, right? So anything can happen here. This is going to be a lot on your draft. It's going to be on a lot on people that you have to work with. And just looking down through some of the teams, I mean, we have Endeavor. They got 5 trucks out there. Steel Horse Racing, they got 5 trucks. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys can link up and then put something together. But, I mean, Slowpoke Racing's got 3, Palmetto 3. First Response, unfortunately, lagging there with 2, and as well as Closed Circuit. Yeah,
you got to wonder if the Closed Circuit First Response guys are going to work together a little bit tonight. But, one thing that's, even if you're not linking up on track, one thing that having teammates will help you with is if we end up with, green flag pit stops, you have guys you can come in with. Hopefully Nick's not leading the pack. And that way you can all come out together and you have people to draft with instead of having to come out by yourself. And in our fuel window, it's tricky to estimate fuel windows at like this because it depends so much on the draft. But I'm tracking about 23 to 30 laps, and this is a 57-lap race, so there's a chance we might be able to do it in one stop, but you have to think it depends on when and if cautions come out, timing of that, and if you choose to pit or not. I don't think pit strategy is going to be a big deal. I don't think it's going to win anybody a race tonight, but it could lose it to somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a very key fact there is this guy's shooting around here just over 170 miles an hour, it looks like.
Yeah, we're about to have our first group here. Actually, we should have had. Actually, we should be about to have our first group here finish some laps, first timed laps here, I think. At least I'm assuming, because our qualifying board hasn't ticked in with anything yet.
There they are. There
we go.
Click in. And that is Blake Gordon there. He's currently sitting up there in first. William Kling-Beal.
And a lot of people say things like, that qualifying at a super speedway or strict plate track, whatever, what have you, is kind of luck. But there's an art to it. There is very much an art about gaining up as much momentum as you can and dropping to that line as low as you can. Which that was, I was watching, that first lap, those first laps were probably all guys, running high line to get a lot of speed built up, and they're probably running their actual qualifying laps now.
Yeah, absolutely. Generally, that is the trick to the super speedways, right? You run that high line, get that speed and momentum built up there on the high side, and then once it's time to go, dropping down in that lower line. As Mike Burge is still showing as your top qualifier with the 56.15. Blake Gordon, he's done there. Justin Anderson now, he jumps up to second with a 56.18. He's wrapping it up, so that'll put him second fastest. Jason Swan on the track right now. Brian McFerrin just turns in a lap. He runs a 56.16. So he tied there with Mike
Joe
Dinsmore.
It's that's interesting because Sean Burgess is 56.25.
His last lap.
Oh, that's his last lap. Okay.
So his first lap was his best lap at that 56.
Yeah, I see now. I see. Okay, yeah, exact same times.
But will that be broken here with Brian McFerrin as he's on the track still? He is about to turn in his second. I say that I'm incorrect. He's already turned in his 2 laps. So he's just running.
I'll a lot of times do that because the way I look at it, it's kind of like free practice. So go out there, especially a track like this. I'll go in and I'll practice my pit stops on that kind of last qualifying lap.
How well has that worked out for you?
It's great when I'm not behind Nick.
Chris Facini just turns in third fastest with a 56.17.
Yeah, I know that Chris Facini is really good at super speedway or weight tracks. Him and Joshua Hanner actually run in a from what I recall, a super speedway only league. So like every week they're racing on these kind of tracks. They really enjoy racing them, but Chris, he's got Nick Adams out there tonight with him as a teammate. But yeah, it's gonna be tough for him tonight. Lacking huge team like some of these guys have.
Absolutely. Well, they are done qualifying. Run them down real quick. Mike Burgess is your top qualifier, followed by Brian McFerrin, Chris Piscini in third, Joe Dinsmore in fourth, Justin Anderson fifth, Blake Gordon in sixth, in seventh, Jason Swan, eighth, William Klingbeil, in ninth, Ed Springer, and in 10th, Sean Carmody.
All right, in 11th, we have Justin T. Robin, 12th, Justin Edwards, 13th, Kevin Haas, 14th, Nick Adams, 15th, Don Warnke, Brandon Bernhardt in 16th, Steve Dominy, 17th. 18th is Anthony Scarillo. 19th, Blake Ziti. 20th, Tom Stevens. 21st, Randy Pepper. 22nd, John Gordon. 23rd, Ross Gage. 24th, Derek Schilling. 25th, Andrew Burgess. 26th, Marshall Hall. 27th, Timothy St. Jean. 28th, Gary Winters. 29th, Cody Mitchell. And rounding out the field in 30th, David DeParis. That's a big field.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how many of these guys don't grid up. I'm not honestly projecting for Marshall Hall to be out there tonight. It doesn't look like he is on there.
He gridded up. It looks like. Let me see. Yeah, he's on. He's out there.
Where is he now? Yep, there you go. I apologize. My stuff did not update there. It is now showing some of these guys, not showing some of these guys, and I don't know why it's not picking all these guys up.
Oh, well, that's
very unfortunate. Yeah, very unfortunate. And before anybody says number of cars is quick, I did change that.
Well, I guess we're just out of luck.
I mean, at this point, where do you go with it?
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do, unless you want to double check that number of cars setting real fast.
Oh, I mean, we can. Boom. Hey, go options. Backs. No, that's set up. Graphics. And nope, it's set to 20 again. I saved that. 64.
Hopefully that'll take effect. That looks better to me.
Looks better to me. It looks like they're all showing. So I digress. To make everybody happy, because I know it's coming, that was the laptop.
Well, honestly, that just made me feel good because I like proving you wrong. So.
Right. Hey, so everybody gridded up. The only person, unfortunately, did not grid it is we're not seeing Cody Mitchell out there in the 89. But everybody else is gridded up, and we're about to go green flag racing. Pace car will be dropping off this time around.
Yeah, it's actually surprising about Cody there. He's been in these. Oh, it looks like he is gridded up, or he's in the pits now, so he may have just missed the start.
Oh.
Yeah, thankfully not a huge penalty here. You'll be able to gain back your lap, get a caution, and then work your way back to the field.
And pace car is off. Your top qualifier, Mike Burgess, will lead them around as we go green flag racing. Long way down this Talladega front stretch, but we look for some exciting racing here from Talladega Superspeedway. And they are green flag racing now. Mike Burgess, he's getting a great push by the 37 and Chris Piscini as they're heading into turn one. And we're already seeing the Endeavor guy, one of them, I believe that was Blake Gordon, jump down to that low side.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see that. I mean, there's a hole and you've got a teammate there. I'm not going to say that it wasn't even planned. I mean, generally you got to be really careful about that stack up. But look, we got Joe Dinsmore here running behind the 15 of Brian McFerrin. He's peeking out, considering taking it 3 wide.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes you wonder how quick will these guys look to go 3 wide. We only got 57 laps here. They are, right now, that low line is really building up. That high line has nothing for it right here early in this race.
Yeah, it can still take a little bit of time to get the high line kind of rolling because it's so much more heavily focused on momentum. And when you've got when you're not up to full speed, that low line is taking the short way around the track. But I think you're going to see 3 wide fairly early. I've honestly learned a lot about the style of racing over the past few months and kind of the value of being aggressive. If you're running up front, and see, we've got 3 wide now.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's right there. That's still horse racing. They are not helping Blake Gordon at all. Blake Gordon jumped out there in front of Brian McFerrin. He shuffled high, and then now his teammate Joe Dinsmore, he's going up underneath him. Brian McFerrin, and he's going to look to push Blake Gordon.
Yeah, and we got Chris Massini to the lead now.
Yes, lead change early.
Yeah, but you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see alliances form and then be destroyed.
And Cirillo's in the wall.
Oh, there's a lot of people involved. Caution is out.
Man, he got pushed up in the wall there. He comes down, starts collecting. I want to go through all those cars, but holy cow, that's going to be a lot of cars, man. Let's see here. I've definitely seen the 6. It looked like the Tom Stevens, Derek Schilling, John Gordon, the 9. Yep, that's Tom Stevens.
Tom Stevens, yep.
We had John Gordon, the 77, Andrew Burgess, the 6, Tim St. Jean.
You know who this worked out really well for?
Yeah, Cody Mitchell.
Cody Mitchell. He should get his lap back here, and I believe should be on the lead lap when all of this is said and done.
Yeah, absolutely. He should be back on the lead lap as these guys are under caution here early at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, this is, felt like we were going to have some good racing there, and we did. I think we are definitely too early for anyone to consider taking pit stop at this point, unless you don't think you can do it on one stop. You pit here, you do fuel only. It might be enough to push you over to make it one more stop to the end of the race. I'm honestly not sure. It depends on what kind of fuel methods they're getting in it.
It'll be interesting who does what at this point. We see some random stuff, right? Some guys in the back, they may just off-cycle pit stop because you don't know how many green flag laps you're going to get, and this might give you a leg up.
Well, look back to the Daytona race in the TNT series. You had guys that got in an early wreck, and they pitted due to the wreck, and then they were able to win the race because of it. So, sometimes you just have those little accidents like that fall into your lap.
And that's absolutely true. Like I said, if these guys, me personally, I see nothing wrong, and it looks like everybody's coming in.
Yep. So I'm going to guess,
except for Randy Pepper, the number 12.
Hey, go there, lead you some laps, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot more fun to run a race from the front than it is the back.
Well, hear me out on this. What if Randy is going to go into the pits right after this?
Well, that's a possibility. Just get his bonus point. Yeah.
Go get your bonus point towards your championship. Lead a lap. Come in, get your fuel, go back. If you're running near the back, it's not a bad strategy. That gives you that bonus point, and then you're back almost in the same spot that you were. But like I said, everybody comes in at the same time because you could be that sitting duck out there if the back of the field comes in and you don't. Well, now they've got upwards of 4 or 5 laps extra, right? So you come in, you have to pit, you come in to get your gas, and then a caution comes out. Now you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, look, there are a lot of ways this could play out, and that could work in Randy's favor here. If he stays out, he could have, a caution come out very shortly after this, so that the leaders aren't going to pit. You come in pit, it shovels into the back, but let's say it goes green, white, checkered. You never know. You could end up having to fuel. They don't just because you pitted, a little bit later. But hey, I am all about it's not terribly fun running around in 20th and stuff like that. So if you get an opportunity to get to the front and a track like this, go for it, man.
I don't know, man. I have a lot of fun back there. That's where all the action's at. Everybody's ducking, diving, dodging, and up front, you're just kind of hoping the guy behind you just doesn't leave you hanging.
Well, hey, I mean, if you have so much fun doing it, maybe you should go race every now and then.
Nah.
Guess you have to have a work computer for that.
Yeah, right. As Mr. Burns would say, excellent.
But no, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's definitely fun in the pack as well, but it's also an easy way to end your night early if you get caught up in someone else's stuff. So, no, I don't see anything wrong with what Randy's done here. Assuming he's not going to pit here, because fancy might.
We're going to see. It's not looking like it. Because, I mean, we know right now he's not faking anybody out.
Yeah.
So he's not, but Joe Dinsmore's coming back in.
I'm wondering if Joe possibly had a penalty there. I can't think of why he would have given up his position if he didn't. I'm sure he'll let me know after the race.
Well, we're gonna watch to see what happens here. Is this a stop and go? It'd be interesting to see here. He's in.
Well, yeah.
And he's off.
Yep. That was a stop and go.
Was that a stop and go, or was that a hey, I'm going to go in and top off again?
Oh, you know what? It could be topping off. You're 100% right. I was about to say the tires have changed. That's probably what it was. He probably just topped off the fuel. And again, track position at a track like this isn't that big of a deal. I mean, he did lose a lot of positions, but
not this early though.
What's that?
Not this early. Not at lap 6 of 57.
No, I mean, that's easy to make up, especially if you've got guys who are going in taking extra stop. I mean, I always think that it's fun to run a different strategy. So, yeah, we got some varying strategies throughout the field right now.
Well, and if I'm looking correctly, does Joe have front end damage?
I'm going to take a look as well. It doesn't look like it. I'm going to take a look at the
I think it's the paint.
Yeah, just paint.
Joe, that black on the front of the car threw me off. I thought that was the tire.
Yeah.
Got him. Wow, they are lined up side by side. We're about to go back. Green flag racing here as Randy Pepper, your new leader, did not pit. So we'll see how interesting this strategy plays out. Again, this is the great equalizer when you have a plate track.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not like, and this is at a typical track, this is the kind of thing where I would see him, start falling back. He's on older tires. But here, I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. I mean, yeah, this is exciting.
And pace car is off. And for everybody out there, especially the first-time watchers, the restart, once the pace car leaves the track, is on the leader. So Randy can go at any time right now. He does not have to wait for that green flag. Only the initial green flag do these guys have to wait. And there goes Randy. He's on the throttle.
Oh, he was, but then he checked up. I'm not sure.
Misshift.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, no, that's one of the things I love about Talladega is because of the position of the pit entrance versus these start-finish line, you're able to. The leader has a large amount of room they can determine where to start the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, your new leader, Chris Passini, he got a great push by Blake Gordon. And he's just going to stay on his tail right there. I don't know if I'll see Blake really trying to make a move this early as basically from the back five, it's pretty wide open. But we do have some cars forming an outside line. They're going to try to catch this front group.
Well, and the other thing to consider is, you weren't sure if Blake was going to try to jump out there or if he was just going to stay kind of content lining up like that. But we're seeing him line up, and that's great for them. Although we have Justin Anderson just popped out there. But if there's a chance that you're going to be tight on fuel, you definitely want to be the guy not trying. So if Blake's someone that's trying to make it on one stop potentially and he's not going to have enough at this point, hang out behind someone.
Yeah, and that right there, Justin Anderson coming out. He's got Nick Adams just behind him. That second group has now caught the first group, and we'll see. Do they catch them with enough momentum that they look to go three wide? Or are they just going to catch up, get in line, and start pushing these lines and see which line wins the battle?
Yeah, Nick Adams is a very good push piece in this style of track and this style of racing, a plate track. I really enjoy. To be honest, I prefer having Nick behind me than in front of me. Although to be fair, that's most weeks. But
Fair enough.
He's a very I think Nick Adams is very underrated when it comes to plate trucks. He's very good at this stuff.
And they were looking 3 wide once again. They are 3 wide as one of the Endeavor. That is the 70 of Brandon Bernhardt.
And Joe Dinsmore just laid down the fastest lap of the race, sitting back in the back, getting that huge draft off of all the packed cars in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And any other track, honestly, I would say that's got something, that's going to do well. I can't say anything. I mean, you did make a massive pass past like 8 people to win the race in the TNT series at one point. So you know what? I'll digress.
Yeah, no, I think you can get these huge runs on this drafting package. I mean, I'm looking. Joe's about to take a 3 wide right now. He is coming in a hurry. He's having to work with a much larger group of drivers than I did. So a lot of guys have got to get around.
And they are 3 wide here, lap 10 of 57. And just behind him, he's got Marshall Hall. And Marshall Hall, we ain't seen much here lately, but that kid's no slouch.
Oh, absolutely not. I've raced with Marshall before at the Superspeedway track, and he's really good at this.
And they're still 3 wide as they head into turn 3. Coming through turn 3, everybody's holding their lines. They're going to go into turn 4 as they're still 3 wide.
That upper line is not going anywhere, though. If they're going anywhere, it's backwards right now. Really cannot gain any speed up there.
When you don't have as big of a group as the 2 lower lines. And obviously, the more trucks you have in line, the faster you're going to be.
Yeah, and I mean, look, there are probably some guys that are up in front of Joe right now on that middle line that are thinking about, like, hey, I'll jump up and you collect Joe and try to make this work, but that's also an easy way to get yourself shuffled to the back.
It's very true, and as we're seeing that low line's looking really strong right now. They're getting up a little bit of a gap here as they head into the turn. As you see, Randy Pepper, he's hanging out strong there in third, so right now pit strategy is really playing well for him.
Yeah, and you're talking about the lower line. Look, if you can get a good group of drivers together, the higher line is where you want to be at the end of the race, because you have that momentum. And you can see here, we've got Justin Anderson to the lead because of that high line. The inside line is going to take the lead, entering the corner, but that high line is going to have more momentum on exit.
Yeah, absolutely. You're seeing that, as you just said, that high line gets a lot of momentum as they're coming down that back straight there. And Justin Anderson, he, in theory right now, he has the lead. And there you go. He shuffles down into that low line.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I honestly, for him, I wouldn't have done that. I think at this point, we got other stack.
Oh!
They're wrecking. Big wreck. Anthony, was Anthony Scrillo in that one?
He was. Yeah, he was. No, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He was.
Man.
And here you go. And that was I believe the 86 shot up. Maybe the 26? Might have been the 26. Let's take a look from the 26 here. We're just going to rewind it because it's not even saying he's wrecking. And you see it right here. He's going to... They stack up there on that low line. And it just caused a lot of trucks to start banging into each other. Marshall Hall involved. We got one upside down. That is the... Couldn't tell who that was. Was that Cody Mitchell? I couldn't tell who that was, man.
I'm going to assume it was Cody Mitchell. Although, yeah, it looks like Cody's off the track right now, so he's probably being towed. Tough break for him.
Yeah, that's a bummer right there. It's nothing that you want to see happen. Big wreck. Lap 13 of 57, and now it looks like the trucks will be headed back down pit road.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I got some faulty fuel numbers. I just want to point out those fuel estimates I got were courtesy of Nick Adams. So if they were wrong, blame Nick.
I don't know how much they were wrong as much of these guys are just they don't know when that final stop will happen, right? So if you go out and, like I said, if you keep taking pit stops and say a massive green flag run happens and you're the only one that stays out, well, now you're that sitting duck, right? Like, you didn't come in and get fuel, everybody else did, so now you're stuck, and you may be that'd be 9 laps different from majority of the field.
Oh, I'll tell you what I'm watching here as they were getting ready to come to pit. John Gordon just got absolutely wrecked under caution. Oh man, there was someone coming like with a full head of steam and just spammed into him.
Let's see here.
I am really not sure what happened there. Maybe someone wasn't paying attention to their relative. Or...
we may have it right here. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that was the number 9.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I think it's my favorite saying you have. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, I mean,
number 9 of Tom Stevens.
I don't think there's anything more frustrating than wrecking under caution.
No, absolutely not. Sorry, just trying to look at something. We had a question if Cody Mitchell was done. Right now, he is still not showing on track, so I cannot find him. So
he is also not disconnected, from what I can tell, though. So
okay.
he might still be towing.
Could be that bad of an incident for him. Well, hey, real quick, while we got a second, let's go ahead and let's cut to a commercial break.
Hi, I'm Randy from the Guitar Attic. Can we be serious for a second? Are you tired of being a loser? Can't do anything right? Feel like everyone's coming down on you all the time? Well, there's a way out. And I'm gonna show you. Hey Mom, look what I learned. That's right, pick up a guitar, learn how to play guitar. Automatically you're gonna become a chick magnet. The ladies are gonna love you. Your kids are gonna think you're cool. So what you need to do is come down here to the Guitar Attic, 16725 Ridgewood Avenue in Daytona Beach, Florida, or go on guitarattic.com and buy yourself a guitar and automatically be the star of your neighborhood. That's guitarattic.com.
And we're back now. The trucks are getting side by side. We're about to go back to green flag racing. Your new leader now, the number 30 of Nick Adams.
And look, I'm going to tell you, who that pit cycle there worked out really well for, and that's the 12 of Randy Pepper.
Absolutely.
It's got him back on sequence. Sure, he's not in the higher position that he was when they first pitted, but he's running 13th, which is up 8 spots from the start of the race. So that worked out well for him. And it does look like Cody Mitchell is disconnected.
I figured. I hadn't been seeing him jump back in on track. That is a bummer for Cody Mitchell.
It's a bummer for a lot of guys. Like, I'm looking at a lot of guys here that are now lapped down. You look at Anthony Scarillo, his first race in the Truck Series. He was just riding along there and got caught up and collected it now. That's how it goes with this kind of racing. But tough luck for him.
Yeah, absolutely, and that was a pretty big wreck. I don't know if we'll see a bigger wreck than that, but it'll be interesting right now as we are going on lap 16 of 57. Pace car's lights are off. It will duck off, and Nick Adams will lead the pack around to take the green flag.
That's assuming he gets ahead of Justin Anderson.
Well, and I'll be interested if, as a matter of fact, there you go. He is ahead of him there. We had that talk in the podcast at one time. As Justin Anderson with a huge jump there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that was a very big jump. All right.
All right. Wow, there we go.
I don't know what to say other than that. I'm going back and taking a look at it now because that was.
We got a truck coming on track right now. Can you tell who that is?
Is it maybe Don Warnke? I think it's Don Warnke, the 5 truck.
It is. Rick, your brother is now back out on the track as we're seeing everybody there are shuffling down as they will probably come high here, yeah, and they'll start to move around Don there on that as he'll stick out on that low line. He should be able to pick up the draft here. That is the good news. As we see a pretty, wide gap between trucks. We've got a good pack of 6 there, about a pack of 4, and then we got about another pack of 5-ish. And then probably our biggest pack about 9 or 10.
Yeah, I've gone back and looked at that restart a few times. I don't have audio on, so I can't hear the engines. That was an odd restart, and I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing the field kind of separated right now. There was some oddness to that restart there.
I'm not going to point blame there. I have this sneaky suspicion that he may. We could have seen a miss shift maybe by the 30, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Look, I'm not that kind of a. It's not like I think Justin just went. There was something weird that happened. I'm not sure, but that entire outside line had huge gaps in it. I mean, Justin was kind of out by himself. It was weird how they stacked up. We'll have to. We get any of them in after the race. We'll have to ask them.
Yeah, it was very, very strange. But they are. We got the group starting to build up here. As your main group out front here, we're taking a look at, and then you got another secondary group just behind them.
Yeah, that could be, it's one of two things. Either guys who just lost the draft, they're probably still within range there. So that we're going to see right here, either they're going to catch up, or it could be that they're just kind of trying to hang back and avoid any wrecks that might happen.
And that could be the strategy. That's not a terrible strategy right now at this point.
Oh yeah, look, we talk about how the guys up front really great in the style of racing and all that. They are, but when they start getting more aggressive, even these guys are going to wreck them.
Well,
I've seen it over and over.
As much as we just said that, they are catching that lead group in a hurry, as they are 3 wide up front. As Chris Piscini on the outside with the numbers.
He's dropping.
Yeah, he's only got one person behind him. That's Justin Edwards for help, and that ain't going to do it there.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, and I've had this happen a lot before, where you get just a full head of steam, and it's like, oh man, I can just shoot to the outside here and get around these guys and get out there, and the car just dies, just stalls out.
And yeah, he's dropping like a lead weight there as he's falling back. And your leader right now, Blake Gordon that's Brandon Bernhardt. He now gets there, that outside work, and he will take the lead and lead this lap. As Nick Adams now moving up there on the outside.
Really cool to see Brandon leading the lap there. I genuinely think he is one of the most underrated people in the league. He keeps his nose clean for the most part, and just turns out consistent top guns.
As you see that high line just not getting that drive there. Low line working fairly well, but we got trucks looking to jump to that outside, and there you go. Don Warnke showing 2 laps down. He jumps to the outside there. That's going to give Nick Adams somebody to tow off of. Yeah,
look, I mean, and there's probably possibly some people wondering. I'm sure Rick's not one of them. Wondering why he's a couple laps down. Why is he getting involved in this? Well, first of all, you have a chance to try to gain one of those laps back. But second, I mean, you still want to go out there and have fun. I mean, you want to go race. That's what you're here for. So yeah, go for it.
And that's a good point. This is a great opportunity for him just to go and to make that lap back by himself.
Yeah, look, you get up to the lead, and caution comes out, and look, you're going to go right back to the tail end of the field, and then you're considered for lucky ball.
Hey, I'm seeing something on my screen here. I'm going to take a quick cut over as it's showing Cody Mitchell was coming back on the track here.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And comes down to the low line. Looks like he stops and just jumps back into the pits.
I'm guessing he must be having technical issues of some kind and didn't want to drive it on the track like that.
Yeah, and as you see, Don Workey, there you go. He's getting a nice push here from the number 30 again. And that high line's starting to really work. It looks like they really start to work really well when that 30's got somebody to push on.
Yeah, look, Nick is aggressive. He's going to push you, whether you want it or not. And, yeah, if I were out there, I would want to be in front of him right now. And that's why it keeps surprising me. Guys, get pushed by him and they just drop to the bottom. I don't think that's the right strategy. I think you stay in front of Nick.
And you see it right there. Don dropped and Nick dropped back. And now, here you go. Justin Anderson now jumps to the outside. And that'll give Nick somebody to pull on now.
Yeah, give someone for Nick to push through the lead. And they drop down. But in hindsight, what Don did here,
and they're three wide again.
Yeah, that is Joe leading it again. Joe really wants to get back up to the front,
and he's got help. He's got the 77 of Andrew Burgess, and then just behind them, Justin Roden, who is new. And look, that midline just jumped to that high outside.
Yeah, look,
and they're 4 wide.
Yeah, they're all over the place right now. This is crazy.
4 wide heading into turn 3 with Don Workey on that low side. As they finally get it back together, and they are now 3 wide. Little action going on in the back, but they're able to hold it.
Hey, look, that top line is now working. It was not working earlier, and I still don't think they have enough people up there. There's only 4 people. That bottom line still has
Nick Adams leads the lap.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm telling you.
Another. But they are that. There's 4 guys there on that high line, and they're making it work rather well.
Yep, and we're still 3 wide. I mean, they are now. When I say that, I don't can't hold a line, but they're shifting around. They're changing lines. Really good racing right now.
And there you go. That high line worked well enough. Joe Dinsmore, he's going to move up into the top 4, and they're going to jump down. That's going to leave Justin Roden kind of hanging out to dry there.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to happen too. He's got a gap here he's dropped back into now, but he's a bit slower than the other guys around him, so hopefully he doesn't cause any issues there. I know that feeling pretty well from a few weeks ago when I dropped from my teammate and I was quite a bit slower. Yeah, I mean, I think, once again, though, you're seeing, Nick got to the lead, he dropped down to the bottom, but he gave up his position in the high line, which is now, once again, pulling away.
Yeah, and that high line's working, but what you're seeing there is Brian McFerrin on that outside. I don't foresee him dropping to that low line.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, again, if I were out there, I wouldn't drop to the low line. It's tempting. You kind of see it entering every corner. You see the guy getting the corner, and you're like, man, I want that. But with the corner exit, being able to win on the corner exit, typically, that's where you want to be at the end of the race. So just stay up there and hang on to it.
Well, I say that because he's got help in the form of his teammates. Just behind him, Joe Dinsmore, Andrew Burgess, who's part of Slowpoke Racing, but then you've got the 73 of Justin Anderson, and then you have the newcomer of Justin Roden just behind him. So 4 of the Steel Horse Racing guys are on that outside line.
Oh, and there he goes, drop. But this
prove me wrong.
But this is exactly what you want to do when you have teammates like this.
And they're 3 wide again.
You want to control both lines. I mean, now they as a team controlling the front of the track. Any way you look at it, one member of that team can beat the race every lap on the third line.
And are they going to try to hold up this group, right? So Joe doesn't feel obligated to jump down or doesn't give the run to Andrew Burgess to let Andrew drop down. Do they kind of just, try to run side by side to hold up both lines?
Yeah, I don't think it's holding up. I mean, I think it's just, hey, if you want to pass me, you form another line and you try to get around me.
And that outside line's working again. Here comes the 69.
I'm not sure there's enough cars up there to make it work long term, but it's working right now.
It's definitely working right now. And as they are moving, and he's almost got the clearance getting the push from Chris Bassini, but he's all over the place there as he's able to gain it back. And
yeah,
those two little lines.
I think he scrubbed off some speed when he lost a little bit of control there, and that's causing him to drop back now. But yeah, Bassini's all over his bumper right now.
Well, and they're fighting back once again. Justin Edwards leading that top line, and they're about to looking four wide again.
Yeah, Nick Adams there was teasing dropping below the yellow line to make a pass. Can't do that here, which he is well aware of, and he's probably his.
And there you go. Look, Justin Edwards is he's got the run here going into turn 3, and it forces hands there.
Oh, they're touching.
Oh!
Oh, this would be a lot of cars.
Justin Edwards and Joe Dinsmore.
And I was just about to say how cool it was to see Justin running up there. You know, it's a spot that he typically isn't a front runner, but had worked his way up there, and then that happened. Can we go back a little bit further?
Yeah, we absolutely can. It for some reason did not register as a wreck. And we're going to stop play. Well, we'll just let it go back a little bit because I want to take a higher view at this. That'll be good.
Yeah, we see, Bassini giving him a great push. Joe drops to the inside line. Justin goes to the middle line. That
just came down a little too much.
There was definitely some net code there. I mean, it could have been arrow as well, not net code, but there was no actual contact. But I mean, Justin was still down too far.
And one of the cars, I believe that is Derek Schilling on his roof.
Man, I hate that. It really sucks when you have fast repairs and you're able to go into the pit and get a repair instantly. But if you just have the misfortune of turning over on your roof, ending up off track, then you have to tow. And that's, at a track like this, that could be, 3-4 minutes for a tow.
Yeah, massive track. But that was a huge wreck there. And, they both came down, and I don't know how much it was a net code or they actually got to each other or what, but just a monstrous wreck.
Yeah, that I knew that was going to be wild the moment I saw positions happening. And I got to be thinking now, I'm looking at guys, looks like everybody's going to pit here. Chris Bassini got out of that without any damage, but he came in as well. So you'd have to think, being at lap 30, that they would not be able to make it on fuel from this point.
Well, what was the fuel run numbers that you got?
I got 23 to 30, but if that were the case, then I don't think
they could make it from here. But they could make it from here.
If that were true.
If it's 30.
I don't think it's 30. I think, just judging by the number of pit stops they took before lap 30 here, I think they feel like it's going to be lower than that. We'll see. It could just be that, it's just insurance in case the caution came later. There's a lot of strategies that could play out, but I am thinking we might need one more stop. 30, I think, was a little ambitious.
Well, we'll find out. But while we got a quick second, let's go ahead and cut to another commercial break.
The AOLL Racing League began racing in the early 90s with Papyrus's NASCAR Racing and has grown over the decades, now racing on the iRacing platform. The AOLL has 3 divisions: the TNT Series Developmental Division for our beginners and those getting back into racing, the Cup Series for our veterans and Class A licensed drivers, the Sportsman Division racing the Gander outdoor trucks with drivers from the TNT and Cup Series. You can catch all of the AOLL action here on Ghostfire Media.
facilities.
The funny thing is, I didn't even mute it. That's how much I rushed right there. Yeah, really had to use the facilities there. And I'm sorry you guys had to look at that cut screen for a little bit more of an awkward time. But here we are. We're back, and you got a new leader again, Chris Piscini. So we see him try to make that third line there on the outside work. And he dropped back. Well, he dropped back. I'm kind of bringing this back a little way. So he dropped back, pretty far back. Then he came back, made that third line work again, and fortunately for him, it worked to the point where now he's leading the race, but it took a massive wreck.
And hey, look, his teammates right there on the outside, Nick Adams, a 30 car. But I think that Piscini and Justin Edwards are working well together. I mean, sometimes, even if it's a guy that I don't run with very often, sometimes, you'll get behind someone or someone will get behind you and it'll just click. And it's just like it's working for you. And, those are the kind of guys that I'm going to seek out like the rest of the race. And sometimes a couple guys, like, sometimes there's, multiple people that like, this is working. We've got speed. And, I wouldn't be surprised you possibly see, Justin Edwards and Chris Piscini working together again at some point in this race. I'm trying to see where Justin is now. He's running 13, so certainly not out of this.
And that was just a huge wreck. Unfortunately, it looked like Randy Pepper may have been caught up in that as well, as he now, at one point, leading the race, now drops back one lap down. But your current leader, Chris Piscini, followed by Nick Adams, Brandon Bernhardt, Sean Carmody, and Justin Anderson. Those are your top five, as right now we're taking a look, see just how far back this goes. We've just got quite a few people here on the lead lap, all the way back to 17th.
Yeah, I mean, this is here's one of the benefits of fast repairs, not penalizing guys too hard.
But we see Blake Ziti and Joe Dinsmore both one lap down.
Yeah, I think Blake was one lap down earlier. I don't know why Joe would have gone a lap down there unless he had to tow, or if he was out of fast. No, he wasn't out of fast repairs. I'm not sure what happened there.
I don't know. It's interesting to find out, but we'll see how this plays out as Chris Piscini, we lead him down and bring us back to the green flag here at Talladega. 31 laps complete, and Chris Piscini gets a great jump.
Yep, and then his teammate, he's jumping behind him. At first I thought he was going to hold up a little bit, but he decided to wisely jump in there because he was not going to have any help on the outside if he'd stayed out there.
Yeah, absolutely. He got down there pretty quickly and, most importantly, safely. But, hey, look at the Endeavor cars already looking towards that outside.
Yeah, I mean, if we had a run there, I mean, I think Brandon Bernhardt had to take that, go up there and get somebody behind you, try to go take this lead of this race away.
Yeah, it's Brandon Bernhardt, Sean Carmody, the 82 now moving up. But there on that low line, you got CCR, and then you got Steel Horse Racing with Justin Anderson and Brian McFerrin giving some good pushing.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where, we saw earlier, Justin was in front of Nick for a little while, and then, we kind of jumped out of line. And, I mean, you find allies throughout the race, and you work with them for a little while, and then you move on and find new allies.
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be interesting to see this high line. They're not dropping any, but they're making it work. They're not really gaining just quite yet. I think once Mike Burgess sits there and gets straight in line, that high line will start getting those runs on that outside.
Hey, I'm talking about, the alliances and, obviously a team alliance. Your teammates are the strongest alliance.
3 wide again, Blake Gordon this time.
But, Nick Adams is hungry for a win. I know he's hungry. And I am curious to see, how hard he's... I saw him kind of peeking out, thinking about trying to get on the outside of his teammate, Chris Piscini. So I think when it comes to it, Nick's going to go for the win. I can't blame him.
I want you to keep an eye on that 48. He's got it 3 wide, and don't be surprised if he starts side drafting to work his way up. Blake is pretty darn good at that side drafting.
Yes, he is, and tight tracks really reward aggressive driving, and Blake's aggressive. I mean, he's clean, but he's aggressive. And that's why one of the reasons, even though Blake says that he's not good at plate tracks and all of that, he usually finishes well at them because he's aggressive.
And you see, they're 3 wide right there. 2 Endeavor trucks on the outside. That's the 50 of Blake Ziti. He's pulling Blake Gordon up. Blake Ziti is a lap down, but this will help him come back on that lead lap if he can make it all the way around, and he is.
That's a whole lot of Endeavor right there at the front of the field.
And look, they are able to get down to that lower line. Well, the midline, I guess we could call it right now at this point. That is 4 now Endeavor trucks there at the front.
Yeah, that who was that in the 4th spot behind them? He kind of dropped back. Is that John Gordon? No, that's the 40. That's Sean
Carmen.
He dropped down a little bit. Fell back.
Oh, Nick just moved out of line, and that's going to cause him to stack up. And we're going to bring another caution out. And this system is not liking this plate track.
Yeah, I'm trying to take a look here to see who was at fault. I don't see that Nick did anything wrong there, but I need to get a better angle.
Well, let's go ahead. We're right there. And we're going to pause it right there. Let's get I like the helicopter view. So, all right. So, you see Nick moved up, but the 50 kind of got on that outside quarter panel, right? So, let's bring it back just a little bit more. I want to take a look from Blake Ziti here. And there you go. He comes up, catches him. So he really wasn't clear, but he had room. And then it causes him to stack up, and it collects the 66, 5, 82, 9, 83. Joe Dinsmore involved in that one as well. And the 80 of Ross Gage.
Yeah, I'm still playing with replays here, trying to get a really good angle at it. Not that I'm trying to assign blame. I'm just really curious. Yeah, I mean, to me, it looks like Nick had that position, but it was close. I mean, it was an impressive move by Nick Adams there.
Well, they're coming down the pits again there.
Yep. So I suppose I was right. They needed fuel again.
Or will this just ensure that they're good?
That's true. This might just be ensuring for a green-white checkered. If my lower end fuel numbers are correct, at the very least, then they should certainly be good to go. But we'll have to see.
Because if the numbers that you were given on the higher end, they could have made it, but it would have been barely, right? They would have barely made it. Right now, your lower end was what, 22? I believe is what you said, 22.
Yeah, 23 is what I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Cody Mitchell said he had computer issues once again and dealing with a potential dead 3090.
Oh.
Ouch.
Bad time for that.
I feel you, man. I wish my desktop was working, but it's not, and I still haven't shipped it out. I'm going to do that this weekend, though. As the trucks currently are in pace here. Your leader, Chris Piscini. We've had some really exciting racing, but I mean we've had some really big wrecks.
Yeah, it's been fun. Seeing a lot of cars go airborne. I really wish they would start getting some green flags in though, because we've been going at this for an hour, and my vocal cords are getting tired.
Yes.
Also running out of things to talk about under caution.
Well, I mean,
look, it's saying something when I'm running out of things to talk about.
No, it'll say something when Nick has things that are to talk about.
Hey, if this continues, we can just pull Nick into the booth. Let him talk with us.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's not a bad idea.
I don't think he'd have anything very positive to say right now, though.
Hey, you know what? Why? You know what? That was a great idea. Let's bring him in. Absolutely. Let's bring him in. Let's move to. Hey Nick, it's Larry and Carl in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I do. How are you guys?
Hey, well, we're fantastic, man. Looking good out there, running in second place right now behind your teammate Chris Passini, man. How's the race going for you out there?
It's going fantastic. I feel like I'm probably one of the stronger pushers out here right now. Everybody I've pushed has gone to the lead. I just wish whenever I was in the middle lane, I got more of a push and was able to get myself into the lead. But I'm all right with being the helper.
Yeah, I actually commented on that during the race. Broadcast seeing you do it. I saw you continue to push people up to the front. You've been looking real good out there, man. You think you're gonna have anything for the lead, for the win here?
There's some talks going on about fuel strategy, so hopefully I have enough fuel first off, and then secondly, I think I do have something for the win here. I think I got something for Chris.
Sounds like your fuel numbers you gave me might have been wrong.
They definitely were. I'm not going to give you the secret number that I have in my head right now, but it's definitely less than what we have to go here.
Oh man! All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.
Well, I just got moved out of the booth.
I think that was way too funny because I thought I had clicked Nick originally, and then I hit the team, and I looked and I was like, I was about to say something, and then Nick was about to say something, and I was like, oh wait, I moved Carl.
Yeah, Chris, you moved me into the closed circuit team channel, and Chris Passini's like, oh, you back? I was like, oh, this is not where I'm supposed to be.
Oops. The laptop issues, guys. I'm just I kid. Hey, we got 20 laps to go. We'll be at 19 once we go green flag racing here. So pace car will be jumping off. Brick Work, he said, Blake, why are you not leading this pack? You driving in reverse. You still have your learner's permit. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah, I love reading Rick's comments. Keep it up.
I feel like he needs to be on the podcast one night. I feel like he could be a entertaining fella just like Ross Gage was.
All right, well, pace car is off. The leader, Chris Passini, can control when they'll restart. So we're going to just see when he goes.
And there you go. They are on the gas. So here we go. He's getting a nice push here from the 73 of Justin Anderson as Blake Gordon. He kind of looks towards that inside, and he's going to shuffle Nick Adams to that outside. That's really going to hurt Nick. Can Nick get down before he gets shuffled back too far? And there you go. He's going to lose one. Just gets in front of Justin Edwards.
Yeah, I didn't think he was actually going to be able to do that. Pretty big speed differential. It's awful when that happens on a restart, though, because you have no momentum built up, and yeah, that ain't good. But look, we've seen Nick work his way up. He'll be working his way up there again. But other than Chris Passini, I guess Justin Anderson, we're seeing some of the guys we saw earlier, that were leading the race earlier, but now back up towards.
But and we're at 19 to go. We're going on to 18 to go. We expect this high side line to start catching, which Blake is. So he'll start making that high side work. These guys will get side by side. But if we were about 3 laps in, it'd have been interesting to see if Justin Anderson would have jumped and left Chris Passini out there hanging, to dry, because he's got Brian McFerrin behind him, a teammate that's going to push him.
Well, again, Nick Adams was talking about fuel strategy. Chris Passini pitted at the same time Nick did. So if there's a chance that Nick's not going to make it on fuel, then Chris Passini leading this race, that's not good for his fuel mileage.
Absolutely. Nick Adams kind of going back and forth, left to right there. I thought he was going to look to make it 3 wide. Does not make it 3 wide. Obviously, he's thought better of that. As right now, these guys running 2x2, running down the front stretch. Get Chris Passini just getting a monstrous push there from Justin Anderson.
You'll see this a lot. You'll see it in real NASCAR as well. It's kind of like the calm before the storm. The guys are kind of being a little patient right now, maybe a little bit more patient than they were earlier in the race, and a lot more patient they're going to be, in a few laps. But at this point, they're just trying to get to the finish, and then you see Nick Adams going 3 wide. So, of course, he's going to be the first one to do that this then. He wants to get back up front.
And he's got help. That's the 69 of Justin Edwards. And Justin Edwards has been pretty good on that outside line. He's really pushed people towards the front. But you got Endeavor linked up there again on that mid-line with the 70. And here you go. He goes the 73 and the 15 to that high side line. They're going to leave Chris Bassini hanging to dry here as the 40 of Sean Carmody able to catch up to Chris Bassini. But there you go. The 73 and 15, they're working their way to the front.
Well, you got to think that 40 car of Sean Carmody has to, as soon as there's a gap, in between his teammates or something, he's going to take that and go up there with his teammates. He certainly doesn't want to push another team to a win over his teammates.
And that'll make Justin Anderson your current leader as they're heading down the backstretch. Your low-line leader, Justin Anderson, outside leader, Brian McFerrin. So, Steel Horse Racing controlling both lines currently.
Let me throw out a scenario here for you. Not that Justin wasn't capable of getting to the lead, but if we knew that Cassini might have been, short on fuel, do you think there's any chance that maybe he was, letting off that gas a little bit and purposefully hoping that Justin Anderson would try to pass him so we could tuck in behind him?
That's an interesting theory there, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm also interested right here, does Brian McFerrin get pushed by Endeavor? Well, now he shuffled to that outside. So there you go. Brian McFerrin kind of got shuffled there just a little bit, but enough to where he's now on that third line. He's going to get down rather quick as the guys are looking to make a third line again.
Yeah, but that third line just is not going anywhere right now. It's dropped like a rock.
Well, that midline
right now.
Look at that midline. There's a huge gap now to Brian McFerrin from the 48 and the 70. But I've said it once, I'll say it again. Blake Gordon's one of the best side drafters in the league. So he's really making that line work as Brian McFerrin's working his way back up there. Well, getting pushed by the 30.
Yeah, I was about to say, look who's pushing him. One of the guys who's been pushing better than anybody out there today. Pushing back up there. I have to think this outside line might be pretty stout when all is said and done.
More 14 laps to go.
Further back in the field, I was looking, they were 3 wide, a little bit further back in the second pack kind of pulled up. And, a lot of moving around the track, we'll put it that way. Kind of all over the place, but no incident out of it, which is kind of surprising because I really thought there was going to be.
And they're 3 wide back there. That looks like the 86, possibly the 82. And I can't quite make out the truck that was also 3 wide. But
Nick Adams is taking it 3 wide, but he has no help whatsoever.
None, and that's going to really hurt. But look, he's trying to side draft. And look,
and Justin Edwards.
Yeah, Justin Edwards, he's really liking that outside line. Any chance he gets to push somebody on that third line, he's jumping out there.
Yeah, honestly, I've seen it over and over. The moment someone jumps out, he's like, ooh, I'll go with you. But 2 cars will not be enough on that line. And this is what you got to time these jumps right. You got to time it so, obviously you can't be the last person to jump up there, but you got to make sure that when you go, you're going to have help.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin Edwards, unfortunately, got into the wall there, so he's going to drop back. Hopefully he doesn't lose the pace, and that Nick Adams drops way back in the pack there, trying to make that third line work and was unable to do it as Justin Anderson continues to lead.
Which, look, I don't fault him. I mean, it's kind of boring just sort of running around. Like, you want to make something happen. I get it. And I think you're about to see a whole bunch of guys, start going for it. I'm seeing a lot of guys that, are set up in position to potentially, make some big moves here. And I'm going to try to get a better camera for myself here on my screen. Let's see if I can get a chopper cam. Yeah, so, I look at Brian McFerrin. I think Brian McFerrin is in a great position. Those are not his teammates in front of him, so he has no obligation to try to run with them. I would not be surprised if those 2 guys in front of him, teammates, they're not going to turn on each other. So I think, Brian McFerrin could be the guy that jumps out there and perhaps has Gary Winters go with him. I've seen Randy Pepper right there as well. Randy's a lap down, but he's the first car lap down. I think that's who I'm looking at right now is Brian McFerrin.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think that right now that X factor is going to be Brian McFerrin there in the 15. Obviously, Endeavor is going to try to take the lead here with 10 to go, and they're going to try to control both lines. The question is, can they? Which as they're getting a huge run there, going into turn 3. But Justin Anderson fighting back, getting that push from Chris Piscini, and he's going to be able to hold it. So could there be just chatter within Steel Horse Racing and telling Brian, don't push Endeavor that hard because make them work to get around, the 73 by themselves.
Yeah, there's always that chance, but at the same time, you've got to run your own race and these kind of things too. As we're getting down final laps, sure, teammates are great and all, but you want to go get a win yourself. But, you're right. I'm watching Brian McFerrin here. He's definitely not right on the bumper of these Endeavor guys. Ooh, big check up there. I'm not sure what happened. But the 48, Blake Gordon, backed off big time and kind of stacked that outside line up a little bit.
And maybe that right there is just them trying to say, hey, we need you to push us. If somebody's not giving you a great push, which there you go, 37 able to get a monstrous push on the 73. If the 70's not careful, the 37 will jump to that outside.
Oh, they touched there a little bit. Oh, that was almost bad. Yeah, that's assuming that he's good on fuel now. If he thinks he's good on fuel, I think he's going to wait for an opportunity and try to take it. Chris Piscini's a 2-time winner in this series. Someone very capable of winning. And as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, this is someone who really excels at this style of racing.
And you're seeing right there, the high line was really able to build up, but that low line opened up. Blake there jumped down, and here comes his teammate.
I have to say that was unexpected.
Will they look to make a run?
It could be fuel as well. Once again, these guys all pitted at the same time as Nick Adams and Chris Piscini. The guys we're talking maybe didn't have enough fuel, so they could be having run up front so much. It could be that Brandon Bernhardt needed surface fuel here.
Well, and right there, you've got 3 Endeavor. They are in line. If that outside line doesn't get cooking, I definitely think that the Endeavor may try to jump to that outside line once again and leave these two hanging, because that would be a massive gap between the 37 and the 6.
Well, that would require a massive breakdown of this outside line, but there are only 3 cars up there together. That could happen. It is,
and there's a lot of trucks there on the low line. But Endeavor looks like they're pitting. They are. Brandon Bernhardt, the 48, the 3. All of these guys coming into the pits.
That's big. That is huge right there.
So, who's got the fuel to finish this race?
The 19 of John Gordon just spun out trying to get out of his pit stall. It was almost about to be a lot worse than it was.
Well, and that's not going to bring out the caution right now. These guys are still going, so advantage, obviously, to the guys on the track. And we heard from Nick Adams talk about fuel. Could this come down to fuel? We're 7 laps to go. Who's going to make it off fuel? Here goes the 73. He's off the track. 37 coming down. He's off the track. Everybody else coming down. Who's going to get pit road speeding penalties? That'll be another thing.
My money's on Nick Adams.
I can't stage you for that.
He'll never get to live that down, just like you can't live down finishing third once.
Well, tomato. Blake Gordon now on the track by himself. He doesn't really have anyone around him.
That's not good right there. If this other pack can get out together.
Chris Piscini got a little bit of a gap. Justin Anderson coming behind him. And then from there, Nick Adams even a little bit further.
Oh, caution's out. Caution is out.
That will help Chris Piscini.
Wow.
Can you find what brought the caution out?
I will try to, because it's not showing up on
anything. Well, could it be Tim St. Jean here?
Oh, I think that's a pretty solid guess.
All right, let's take a look what happens here. Let's go chopper view, get a little bit bigger of a view here as he comes out of his pits. The 80 Ross Gage comes out and just right there, they're all stacking up, running into each other. And the 6 goes sliding into the grass. And I'm wondering if that's what brought the caution out.
That's the only thing I can think of, because I'm not seeing anything else.
Well, I tell you, when I click yellow flag, it shows the 6. Well, there's the 19. He looks squirrely there for a second, too. The 15 of Brian McFerrin. Let's see what. Oh. He's completely sideways.
Oh, could that have been it then?
Could that have been it? All right, let's watch this breakdown. The 15 comes out of the pits. He's going to get slammed by the 73. Go down, smack the inside wall.
Huh.
And then gets back moving?
I think that is possibly more likely than the 6, but it's hard to say. We had synchronized wrecking.
What just happened?
Something amazing.
Was it though? Well, Blake Gordon now, he's going to be in 9th position. And we're going to take a look. How many trucks do we have on the lead lap? Sean Carmody back to 14th. Klingbeil. So it's showing Joe Dinsmore as our first racer 1 lap down.
I honestly think that might have... You said that worked out well for Chris Piscini, and in some ways it did. That might have worked out better for Blake Gordon. We'll have no way of finding out, obviously, but it felt like the group with Piscini, Nick Adams, Justin Anderson, and Joe Dinsmore, it felt like they were tighter coming off pit road. So I think, if they could have gotten together and stayed together, they would have had a great deal more momentum than Blake Gordon and the other Endeavor guys had. So that may have worked out well for Endeavor right there, but of course we have no way of knowing.
Yeah, and Joe's getting his lap back. He's getting the wave around. So he will be back on the lead lap. So as they run right now, Chris Piscini, your leader, followed by Justin Anderson, Nick Adams, Gary Winters, Mike Burgess, Ross Gage, Tim St. Jean, Blake Gordon, Kevin Haas, and Brian McFerrin, your top 10. We're going to have Justin Anderson with Gary Winters on the outside. On the low line, though, we're going to have Chris Piscini with Nick Adams, teammates there. And we have seen Nick Adams has been a heck of a pusher all day.
Yeah, but, he's going to be the one that's going to get pushed. We'll see if anybody wants to do that. I don't think we're done with cautions at this point. I think at this point you're going to see guys, take a lap to get up to speed, and then they're going to start making moves. And I believe we get 1 green white checkered in this series.
I believe so.
Trying to check now. Well, I'm not seeing it in the. I'm pretty sure it's 1 green white checkered attempt. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get to use it tonight.
This is going to be intriguing. This is. I'm lost for words, man.
Yeah, look, you got to think. You're talking about how fast Blake Gordon was and the other Endeavor guys. Brian McFerrin was really fast. Joe Dinsmore, who was a lap down, back on the lead lap. You're going to see some guys making aggressive moves pretty early on this restart to try to gain back some of that position. And I'm excited to see it. I'm looking throughout the field. Like, there are so many guys that, if they make big moves, could win this race easily.
Well, they are starting to line up 2 by 2. We are going to go green flag racing here. Green, white checkers, what we're going to get.
Man, I'm ready to go.
Me too. It's going to be interesting how this pans out. As they're your top 3 on the high line are going to be Justin Anderson, Gary Winters, Ross Gage. And then on the low line, you're going to have Chris Fassini, Nick Adams, and Mike Burgess. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Now, if this field, answer me this, if this field starts to spread out like we've seen on some of the restarts, who does that favor?
Someone who can take the. So I mean, first off, the field spreads out. It's going to favor guys who are further back because the guys at the front won't be getting that arrow push from behind, and the guys in the back will be able to get these huge runs. I mean, it's exactly what I did 2 weeks ago in Talladega in the GT series. I was well back in the field and was able to get a huge run due to that gap, and was able to make the outside line work by myself. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen here tonight. I wouldn't be terribly surprised if someone tried to make it 4 wide with a huge.
Yeah, and I could see Blake being that person. Not Blake will send it. Blake will go for it.
And Blake's one of the few guys that actually, there's several guys out there that could handle their car 4 wide, but Blake's one of those guys. He can handle it, and he's going to hold his line. And if somebody else wrecks him, then oh well. I mean, he's going to make it to the chase. It doesn't really matter at this point. He wants to go for the win.
All right, here we go. Pace car is going to drop off. Green-white checkered attempt. Talladega Superspeedway, Chris Fassini will lead us to the green flag.
Nick Adams needs to get up behind his teammate. There's a little bit of a gap there.
They will obviously try to work over the radio to time this restart, but if it gaps and Nick has the ability to jump high, don't be surprised if he tries to. And there you go. They are taking off it. They are going to get a monstrous jump. Leave the 82. Does Nick Adams? Well, the 73 jumps down behind Nick Adams. At what point are these guys going to try to make that move?
Well, like I said, it would not be a surprise to me to see them take 1 lap to try to, get up to speed. Although Nick's toying with it right now.
And as much as he's toying with it, some of that could be, hey, let me scrub the draft off of the 73. Let me give, he's not going to get as strong of a draft trying to grab Chris Fassini's.
Well, I mean, I honestly kind of don't want that. I mean, in an ideal world, you want the 73 right on your bumper because not only are they giving you a push by doing that, but they can't get a big run if they are right on your bumper. I was actually a little worried when they got that huge, when Nick Adams got that huge restart. I was worried they gapped the field too much because that would have also been very bad. But
here comes Blake Gordon. Final lap, so this will be the end of this race.
I really expected us to have another caution here, but they kept it clean. Man, someone's going to make this move, and I'm going to sound like a Fox broadcaster and point out, Talladega, the start-finish line.
There it is! Nick Adams, he leaves his teammate. He's going high, and the 73 goes with him. Will Justin Anderson try to push him, get the run, and drop down? Blake Gordon's coming now. Nick Adams is your leader as they're heading into turn 4.
Gone just a little too early.
No, Blake Gordon, he's going to push him. They are side by side.
Oh, Chris Fassini's going low.
They touch! Wrecking! And Nick Adams will win it!
Wow!
Woo-hoo.
If I am not mistaken, that is Nick Adams' first win in the AOLL series.
I believe so. I mean, definitely the truck series.
Yeah, definitely the truck series. I'm pretty sure he's not had a TT done. I am going to pull those stats up now. I don't want to say something really dumb. I am pretty sure that is his first win across all of the series.
Teammate, give him a little bump of congratulations.
That is Nick Adams' first win.
Incredible. What a pass. We thought he may have won a little too early, but he was able to hold off the hard charger of Blake Gordon to pick up his first victory.
Yeah, I said it earlier. I know the dude's been hungry. Incredible finish there, man. We're gonna watch his burnout here. I think what we should do is after we talk to our drivers, we should go back and watch that one again because that was a fun finish.
That was a great finish. Let's take a look here. Nick Adams, actually, while we have the chance, Randy Pepper giving him a little love, the Tuesday broadcasters. Let's go ahead and let's cut back right here. And we're going to slow it down. Let's see here. Best view that we can get here. And we're going to try to show the gap here to the checker flag. And that's it. That is close.
What a finish. What a crazy finish. That is 1/100th of a second that Nick Adams won by.
You know, I hate to say it, we ain't never going to hear the end of this one.
Oh, no, we're not. We're never going to hear about you finishing third ever again.
And especially from him, but I tell you what, his hairline still doesn't look any better in this picture.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's just messing with us and keep putting up worse pictures. We've got a rip on him now so that it doesn't go to his head.
Absolutely. Here we go. Nick, it's Larry and Carl in the booth, man. Can you hear us?
I don't think you guys have ever heard me this happy.
What a fantastic finish, man. I got to know, did you feel like you may have won a little bit too early on your teammate there making that move?
No, it's what we had talked about, that whoever was behind the other one was probably going to get a better run coming down the backstretch in the final lap. When I saw Justin pull out behind me, though, I was a little worried. But I had it in my head that maybe Justin wanted to see me get something. But I wasn't sure of it. The fact that he stayed behind me the entire way and didn't pull out on me was awesome. That was an awesome finish.
Yeah, it really was. You know, we actually got back and watched it again. Yeah, you know, it did look like you went a little early, but then, you know, Chris Passini came back on the inside, gave you a huge push there. You know, we talked to you earlier, but, you know, how do you feel about the race as a whole? You know, just, you know, obviously you're excited about the finish, but, you know, what do you think about the race as a whole?
I mean, it was some of the best racing we've ever had, especially in these trucks at the Superspeedway. I think it's some of the best racing that us here at Ghostfire Media have ever broadcast. It was unbelievable.
Is that just because you won the race?
No, I would have been happy if I didn't finish the race at all. This race was unbelievable. Everybody had the most car control I've ever seen. The trucks at Talladega are an awesome piece of equipment to drive. So it's a lot better because I won the race. But
so Nick, I've got to ask you: when you guys did that green flag pit stop, how hard was your heart beating?
It wasn't.
Your heart wasn't beating.
So
I was clinically dead for 30 seconds. I was so worried. I was so worried it stopped. No, I had practiced my entry to pit road a couple of times, not that much, but I had a feeling that everybody was going to break early, which is why I stayed to the outside a little bit and got that extra run in. And I even told Chris in our team chat that if I win this race, it's because of my entry on that final pit stop.
Well, I tell you, man, congratulations on the win. Do me a favor, take some of that, you know, prize money and go get you some hair plugs and then change your picture for me, would you?
I can't.
Hey guys, I had to jump in here real quick to say congratulations, Nick. It was awesome watching you race out there. So I just had to jump in here and say congratulations to a fellow Ghostfire Media broadcaster.
I appreciate it, Randy. Thank you. It was unbelievable. I can't thank Justin and Chris enough.
Well, congratulations again, man. We can't wait to talk more about this tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys.
All right. We'll kick Nick Adams out of here and bring in the old classic of Blake Gordon. Hey, Blake, it's Larry, Carl, and now Randy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
course I do. Fellas, what's going on tonight?
Hey, first off, great finish, man. You're on that restart there, running 8th. Did you think that you were going to be able to work your way up and get that top 2?
Really, I was looking at the trucks that I had in front of me, and I was looking how banged up they were, and I'm like, it's going to be a miracle if I can get up to, I think, what was it, like maybe, I think Gary might have been clean, and then the top 3 were clean, but I was like, a little too far back. I don't have any teammates directly near me, so to even get close like that at the finish is pretty cool. Bit of an up and down race, so I'll take a second. I would have loved to have won though. I'm still winless on plate tracks in the league. I don't know how.
Well, you certainly looked like you were going to be a contender all night, Blake. And one thing I want to ask you here is, on that final set of pit stops, it looked like you might have had a little bit of a gap from your teammates after the pit stop. Were you concerned about that at all? Like if it had stayed green flag, do you think you guys would have potentially lost some positions there?
Yeah, for sure. That's something I'm actually looking at right now because we came in, me, Brandon, and at least Sean, we all came in together. And we should have been able to come off of pit road clean. I think my dad somehow spun coming off of pit road, which checked Brandon up and then checked Sean up a little bit. So I came off way ahead of them. I was trying to get my dad to slow down so I could at least take a tow because you guys know how it is. I mean, if you come out that far ahead of everyone else, you're a sitting duck. So I was definitely worried because they were, God, when I was almost at pit entry, on the out lap, they were still in the middle of 3 and 4. So yeah, I was telling them on the team radio, I'm like, do not leave me if you guys get to me. Pick me up. And then coming around the tri-oval, I see a car sideways on the apron. And I guess maybe I got too close to him, and that's what brought out the yellow there.
Do you know which car that was?
That was the 15 of Brian McFerrin when Justin was off of pit road.
Oh,
okay.
So if you actually watch the broadcast, it wasn't you.
No, it wasn't Justin's fault at all. It was like Brian might have just lost it on the old tires if he didn't take any.
It's really weird. On our end, it almost looked like he went through him.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, I didn't need it because I was going to be that only car that was probably going to clear these guys. And then they would have probably come out right behind me and I would have been at the lead of that pack.
Oh, so you do think you would have cleared them there, though?
I think I would have cleared at least the 95. Not sure how helpful he would have been with me tonight. It looked early like we didn't want to help each other. And I don't know. I would have at least been middle of the pack instead of restarting 8th. But good finish. Congrats to Nick. That's awesome for him to get the win tonight. Really happy for him. And that was a fun last lap. Glad we even got there in the first place. So I wish you could have heard the team chat in the race, though. I made some pretty nice calls to get us all lined up and flying through the field and then immediately got wrecked. So,
hey, man, it was a great race from you. Congratulations on the second, man. We look forward to seeing you Sunday.
Oh, yeah, Pocono. Yeah, not looking forward to it. I'm going to say congrats, Justin, now on the win. That way I can just get it out of the way. And then I don't know, maybe I'll try to get the bonus points for passing the most cars or something. I don't know. That's just not a track I like going to.
Hey, and I actually might make my Cup debut there. So I might wreck you, so we'll see what happens.
I think I'm going to qualify now.
Have a good one, Blake.
You too, guys. Thanks for the broadcast. Talk to you later.
All right, well, let's go ahead and let's show the results. Your winner, Nick Adams, in second, Blake Gordon third, Tim St. Jean in fourth, Chris Passini in fifth, Justin Anderson sixth, Kevin Haas in seventh, Gary Winters, Ross Gage in eighth, and in ninth, Brian McFerrin, 10th, Ed Springer.
In 11th, we have William Klingbeil. 12th, Sean Carmody. 13th, Joe Dinsmore. 14th, Justin Edwards. 15th, Mike Burgess. 16th, Brandon Bernhard. 17th, Randy Pepper. 18th, Blake Ziti. 19th, David DeParis. And 20th, Steve Dominic.
As you see the rest of the field there, exciting racing from here at Talladega, and I believe they are going to be at, was it Road America next week?
Oh, I didn't even look at the schedule. Let me pull that up real quick. I'm pretty sure it's Road America. That sounds right.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, it's Randy's favorite, the road course.
Yeah, guess what? I won't be there.
That sounds about right. Hey, so tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the Ghostfire Media podcast. Catch it, should be a good one. And then on Sunday, the Cup guys are back. What's the track this week?
Pocono.
Pocono. He just said it. He just said it. See, I want to point out that in the podcast, it's never the alcohol. It's just my memory's that bad.
Well, I've actually got the other ones written out here. Pocono for the Cup Series. It'll be Sunday, and we've got tomorrow USA International for the TNT Series. I haven't said that one yet.
Yes, tomorrow. See, I completely
Final
forgot
race
that
of the
tomorrow.
season, by the way. Final race.
So
and a great points battle right now going on, really between Sims and St. Jean and Sean Carmody right now. I mean, Josh Laston's not completely out of it, but should be a fun race.
Yeah, thanks. See, I got my days mixed up for some reason, thinking that tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, tomorrow night, TNT. Friday, the podcast. Sunday Cup. IVRL is on Tuesday. So that'll do it from here at Talladega. Randy, since you're in here, man, take us home.
Well, thanks for watching the Ghostfire Media Network. It's a great race here in the Sportsman Division. We'd like to thank you for watching the whole thing. From Larry Patrick, Carl Henderson, and myself, Randy Pepper, solo.